The camera sweeps over a frozen, desolate expanse of Antarctic ice, glowing faintly under a pale, endless sky. The wind howls, a mournful cry that seems to carry secrets older than humanity itself. Imagine standing there on the edge of the world, where the ground beneath your feet hides something impossible, something that could unravel everything you thought you knew about reality. What if I told you that a map, drawn in the 1500s, long before anyone set foot on this icy continent, shows Antarctica in startling detail? A map from a time when no one should have known it existed. What if I told you that, buried 5 miles beneath this ice, a heat signature pulses, faint but undeniable, captured by satellites and whispered about in the halls of science? Some say it's a relic, a machine, a remnant of something or someone that came before us. If it's real, it changes everything. It means we might not be the first to call this planet home. It means our reality, the one we touch and taste and trust, might be nothing more than lines of code in a cosmic computer, a simulation so intricate we've mistaken it for truth. My name is Brian Cox, and I'm here to take you on a journey into the heart of a mystery that could redefine existence itself. A story that begins with a single, haunting question. What if the universe isn't what it seems? The story starts in the dimly lit archives of history, where dusty maps tell tales no one fully understands. In 1513, a Turkish admiral named Piri Reis sketched a chart that has baffled scholars for centuries. Drawn on gazelle skin, it depicts the coastlines of South America and Africa with uncanny precision, but it's the bottom of the map that stops you cold. There, etched in ink, is Antarctica, centuries before any ship braved its icy shores. We didn't officially discover Antarctica until 1820. So how could Piri Reis or anyone have known? He claimed his map was based on older sources, charts lost to time, perhaps drawn by civilizations long forgotten. The idea sends a shiver down your spine, not just because it's strange, but because it hints at knowledge we weren't meant to have. Were there people or beings who walked this earth before us, mapping lands we'd only find centuries later? Or is there something else at play? Something that stretches beyond history into the very fabric of our world? As I stand here, imagining the icy winds of Antarctica biting at my face, I can't help but feel the weight of that question. It's not just about a map. It's about what it implies. That our reality might be built on a foundation we don't understand, one that's been hiding in plain sight all along. Now, let's fast forward to today, where science is peeling back the curtain on mysteries we once thought untouchable. In 2025, physicists are no longer just pondering these questions in smoky lecture halls. They're chasing answers with experiments that could shake the foundations of existence. At Oxford University, a team of scientists is designing a test, not to find aliens or ancient ruins, but to probe the very nature of reality itself. They're asking whether our universe, with its stars and galaxies and beating hearts, might be a simulation, a digital construct so perfect it fools us into believing it's real. The idea isn't new. Philosophers like Nick Bostrom have been wrestling with it for decades. He argues that if advanced civilizations can create simulations so real they're indistinguishable from reality, then statistically we're almost certainly living in one. It's a thought that makes your stomach lurch, like stepping off a cliff into darkness. Everything you've ever known, your childhood home, the taste of rain, the ache of a broken heart, could be nothing more than data, rendered by a machine we can't even imagine. But what's new, what's electrifying, is that we're no longer just guessing. Scientists have found patterns in the universe that shouldn't exist naturally. Patterns that look like the fingerprints of a computer program. Think about your favorite video game. No matter how lifelike it seems, zoom in close enough, and you'll see the pixels, the edges where the illusion breaks. Our universe might be the same. Physicists like Silas Bean at the University of Washington have suggested that if our reality is a simulation, it must have a limit, a point where the resolution falters. They've looked to cosmic rays, high-energy particles zipping through space, and found something unsettling. These rays don't move randomly. They seem to follow a grid, a lattice, as if the universe itself is built on a digital framework. It's like discovering that the sky, the stars, the very air we breathe, is made of tiny, invisible squares. And then there's quantum physics, that strange, slippery realm where particles only decide what they are when you look at them. It's as if the universe is saving its energy, rendering only what's needed, like a video game that only draws the scenery in front of the player. The more we dig, the more it feels like we're not just living in a universe but playing a part in a carefully coded story. But it's not just theory anymore. In 2023, something extraordinary happened. A physicist named S. James Gates Jr. stumbled across something that made his heart race. Hidden in the equations of supersymmetry, the rules that govern the tiniest particles in the universe, he found computer code. Not just patterns that looked like code, but actual error-correcting codes, the kind used in your web browser to fix broken data. It was as if the universe itself was whispering, "I was programmed." Gates, a man who spent his life chasing truth, was floored. Why were they in the equations I was studying about quarks and electrons? He asked. The discovery wasn't a fluke. It was a clue, a breadcrumb leading us toward a truth we're only beginning to grasp. Imagine the weight of that moment. Standing at the edge of science, staring into equations that describe the building blocks of reality, and finding the signature of a coder. It's not just chilling. It's personal. It makes you wonder, who wrote us? And why? As the wind howls over Antarctica's ice, I can't shake the image of that heat signature, pulsing deep beneath the surface. Is it a machine, a beacon, a relic of a civilization that knew the truth about our world? Or is it something simpler, a glitch in the simulation, a crack in the code that holds us together? The experiments happening now in labs from Oxford to Cal Poly are searching for those cracks. They're not looking for green lines of code raining down like in the Matrix, but for subtle signs, moments where the universe behaves like a program caught in a loop. Thomas Campbell, a physicist and former NASA engineer, is leading one such experiment. His team is testing whether reality only materializes when someone's watching, like a game that only renders what the player sees. If they're right, it means consciousness isn't just a bystander in the universe. It's the key that brings it to life. The implications are staggering. If we're in a simulation, then somewhere in a reality beyond our own, there are creators. Beings or machines or something we can't even name, who designed this world for reasons we can't yet fathom. And if we're in their story, what happens when we start to rewrite it? Picture yourself standing in a vast, silent laboratory, the air humming with the faint buzz of machines and the weight of questions too big for words. The scientists around you are staring at screens, their faces lit by the glow of data that might just crack open the secrets of existence. This isn't science fiction. It's happening now in 2025, as researchers like Thomas Campbell push the boundaries of what we believe is possible. They're not chasing ghosts or ancient artifacts. They're hunting for the truth about our reality, testing whether it's as real as it feels or just a breathtakingly complex illusion. The idea that we might be living in a simulation isn't just a late-night thought experiment anymore. It's a hypothesis with experiments designed to prove it. And the results, trickling in from labs across the world, are starting to make even the most skeptical among us pause. What if the universe, with all its chaos and beauty, is nothing more than a program running on a cosmic computer? What if every moment of your life, every choice you've made, is part of a script written by someone or something else? As we dive deeper into this mystery, the ground beneath us feels less certain, and the air grows thick with possibility. Let's step back for a moment and think about what a simulation really means. Imagine a video game so advanced that the characters inside it, people like you and me, believe they're real. They laugh, they cry, they dream, never suspecting they're made of code. Now imagine that we're those characters, living in a world so detailed, so vivid, that we've never questioned its authenticity. But there's a catch. No simulation, no matter how perfect, can be infinite. It has limits, boundaries, places where the illusion frays. That's what researchers like Campbell are looking for, those frayed edges, the moments where the universe betrays its digital nature. At Cal Poly University, Campbell's team is running experiments that sound like they've been ripped from a sci-fi novel. They're probing the quantum world, where particles behave in ways that defy logic, to see if reality only renders when someone's watching. It's a wild idea, but it's rooted in something we've known for decades. In quantum physics, particles don't seem to decide their state until they're observed. It's as if the universe is playing a trick, only showing us what we need to see, saving its energy for the moments that matter. If Campbell's team can prove this isn't just a quirk of nature but a feature of a programmed reality, it would be like finding the source code of existence itself. The deeper we go, the stranger it gets. Consider the speed of light, that unbreakable cosmic speed limit. Why does it exist? Why can't anything move faster? To a physicist like Max Tegmark at MIT, it's suspiciously like a rule in a computer game, a cap on how fast the system can process. The universe, he says, is built on mathematics, rigid, unyielding equations that govern everything from the spin of a galaxy to the beat of your heart. If you were a character in a game, Tegmark argues, you'd eventually notice that the rules of your world are mathematical too, because that's how code works. It's not random. It's precise, deliberate, designed. And then there's the discovery that still gives me chills. Those error-correcting codes found by S. James Gates Jr. in the equations of supersymmetry. These aren't metaphors or coincidences. They're the same codes programmers use to keep your internet running smoothly. Finding them in the fabric of reality is like opening a book and discovering it's written in binary. It's a moment that makes you feel small, not because the universe is vast, but because it might be artificial, crafted with a purpose we can't yet grasp. But let's bring this closer to home, to the human heart of the story. If we're in a simulation, what does that mean for us? For you, sitting there watching this video, wondering about your place in the world. It's not just about physics or code, it's about meaning. If our reality is a creation, then someone or something chose to make it. Were they gods? Scientists? Beings so advanced they're as incomprehensible to us as we are to the ants beneath our feet? And why? Are we an experiment, a game, a story they're telling themselves? The questions pile up, each one heavier than the last. And they don't just challenge science, they challenge everything. Your memories, your loves, your fears. Could they all be data, stored in a system we'll never see? Yet, there's something strangely empowering in the idea, too. If reality is code, maybe we can learn to read it, to bend it, to find the cheat codes that let us rewrite our world. Imagine healing diseases, defying gravity, or stepping beyond the boundaries of time. Not as miracles, but as hacks in the program. The possibility is intoxicating, like standing at the edge of a new frontier, knowing the rules are about to change. Now, let's talk about the experiments that could make this real. Campbell's team isn't alone. Across the globe, physicists are searching for signs of the simulation's limits. At the University of Washington, researchers are studying cosmic rays, looking for patterns that suggest a grid-like structure to space itself. If they find it, it's like spotting the pixels in a video game, proof that our universe has a resolution, a point where it can't zoom in any further. And then there's Melvin Vopson, a physicist exploring information physics, the idea that information itself is a fundamental building block of reality. His work suggests that the universe might be storing data in ways we're only beginning to understand, like a hard drive with infinite capacity. These experiments aren't just academic exercises. They're a mirror held up to existence, forcing us to ask who we are and what we're part of. Every result, every anomaly, brings us closer to an answer. And the early data? It's already showing things classical physics can't explain. Flashes of order in the chaos, hints that the universe might be more like a machine than we ever imagined. As I think about that heat signature under Antarctica's ice, I can't help but wonder if it's a clue. A marker left behind by whoever built this world. Is it a machine still humming after millennia, or just a glitch in the system, a bug the programmers forgot to fix? The mystery pulls at me, not just as a scientist but as someone who's always looked at the stars and felt a mix of awe and longing. If we're in a simulation, then the universe isn't just a place, it's a story and we're the characters. But characters can surprise their creators. We can ask questions, push boundaries, seek truths they might not expect us to find. The experiments happening now are our way of knocking on the walls of reality, listening for an echo that tells us what's on the other side. And as the data comes in, as the patterns emerge, I feel a spark of hope mixed with fear. What will we find? A natural world with secrets we've misread? Or a crafted one, designed with intention? The answer is closer than ever, and it's waiting for us to be brave enough to see it. The stars above flicker like distant candles, each one a question mark in the vast night sky. As I stand here, imagining the icy pulse of that mysterious heat signature beneath Antarctica, I feel the weight of a truth that's both exhilarating and terrifying. We're on the brink of something monumental, a discovery that could rewrite not just science but the very story of who we are. The experiments probing the simulation hypothesis, those daring tests by Thomas Campbell, Melvin Vopson, and others, are more than just scientific inquiries. They're a rebellion against the boundaries of our reality. They're our attempt to peek behind the curtain, to see if the universe is a stage and we're merely players in someone else's script. But what happens if we prove it's true? What happens if we confirm that our world, with all its beauty and pain, is a simulation? The answer isn't just about physics, it's about us, about the meaning of our lives, and about what we do when we realize we might be part of a larger design. As we step into this final chapter, the stakes feel higher, the air heavier, and the possibilities infinite. If we're living in a simulation, the implications ripple outward like a stone dropped in a still pond. Science, as we know it, would transform overnight. Physics, biology, chemistry, they'd no longer be studies of natural laws but explorations of a program's parameters. Imagine a new field emerging, something we might call computational reality studies, where scientists don't just observe the universe but try to understand its code. Consciousness, that elusive spark that makes us human, would take center stage. If Campbell's experiments show that reality only materializes when observed, it suggests that our minds aren't just perceiving the world, they're helping to create it. It's a thought that turns everything upside down. Suddenly, you're not just a passenger in the universe. You're a co-author, your thoughts and choices shaping the fabric of existence. It's both empowering and daunting, like holding a pen to a story you didn't know you were writing. And yet, the question lingers. If we're in a simulation, who's running it? Are they watching us now, analyzing our every move, or have they long since moved on to other projects, leaving us to run in an endless loop? The philosophical fallout would be just as profound. For centuries, humans have wrestled with the idea of a creator, gods, spirits, forces beyond our understanding. If we prove we're in a simulation, some might see it as evidence of a divine intelligence, a programmer who set this world in motion. Others might argue that the simulators themselves are just another layer in an infinite stack of realities, each one coded by the one above. It's a dizzying thought, like staring into a mirror reflecting another mirror, endlessly. And what of our purpose? If we're characters in a cosmic program, were we designed for a reason? Are we an experiment, a game, a work of art? Or are we simply a byproduct, a glitch that gained sentience? The questions don't just challenge our beliefs, they demand we confront what it means to be human.